using a LiveU mobile cellular backpack. Tess Protesto, my co-host, is in the field. So we're using a cloud-based switching solution called Go Easy Live to stream with our LiveU 600 from our booth here. We've got a multicam live stream production. Mike maybe will show you a couple camera angles. We've got all kinds of great stuff here at our booth here, but we can't wait to take you to some of the best booths in the NAB Show. That means that we're going to be taking you to the LiveU booth in South Upper, and we're also going to be taking you to the North Hall today as well on the eSports Pavilion. So stick around. We're going to switch to Tess Protesto, who is in the eSports Pavilion right now interviewing Experience XP. So let's go ahead.
How's it going? Tess Protesto here of StreamGeeks. Welcome to NAB 2019, the IRL stream with StreamGeeks and LiveU. We're so happy to have you here in the live chat. We're starting things off today talking about sports. Where else could you start besides the eSports Pavilion?
Absolutely.
I'm here with Joe Sloan of Checkpoint XP.
Yep.
What's up?
It's going. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us today on our live feed. So, I want to hear about a little bit about Checkpoint XP.
Sure.
What you guys do, who you represent, and why you're here at NAB 2019.
Sure. So Checkpoint XP is the nation's first syndicated radio show, terrestrial radio, talking about esports and video games. Think, sports talk radio, but esports and video games. We're represented through Beasley Esports XP, which is the esports division of Beasley Media, one of the largest media companies in the world. And we are here at our first NAB trying to spread the word of esports, basically.
Absolutely. And it's interesting that esports is so prevalent in the broadcasting world because sports are all being streamed now.
Yes.
Video gamers are streaming themselves, and then there's the world, like Twitch streamers, and then there's the world of teams and events, like tournaments,
sure.
Right?
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about your experience. Where does Checkpoint XP live? Is it a team-based esporting system or more like individual streaming?
Sure. So we try to cover all major esports that are getting any kind of traction in the space. So League of Legends, Overwatch, Counter-Strike, Global Offensive, fighting games, whatever is going on in popular at the time. The nice thing about esports is that while each individual esport might have a season, there's something going on at every time of the year, basically. So there's always something to watch. I think that's why a lot of people get into it.
I feel like it's exploding right now, too.
Oh, yeah. Especially in the last 5 years.
The last 5 years with the evolution of Twitch.
Yes.
And now we're from Philadelphia.
Okay.
And there's a giant esports arena dedicated to esports competitions being built.
3,500 seats, if I recall. Yeah. So it's one of the first of its kind. While there are esports arenas kind of popping up all over here in Las Vegas, we've got the Luxor, which has an esports arena. They just opened up last spring. Awesome facility. This is a bespoke stadium dedicated to esports and having people from the area come in and view esports, as opposed to not just a, hey, this is a basketball arena and it also might hold an esports event. No, it's bespoke esports, and it's very important for the space.
So that gets you really excited.
Oh yeah, I mean, for us to get to see every time we get to take like one of these milestone steps of kind of acceptance into the mainstream, whether it's a show appearing on terrestrial radio or Overwatch League appearing on ABC for the finals or a real esports stadium being built. These are the milestones that we have to keep kind of overcoming to get that kind of mainstream acceptance, not just be seen as a fad or something that the kids are doing.
Yeah, and it's super exciting for us in the broadcasting world because we're so excited that the technology that's being used to equip these types of facilities and for the individual game streamer who are having millions of kids, adults, female, male, all walks of life watching each other gaming. So
right.
where do you feel the pool is with that?
So there's two things about it. With esports, it's the idea of, I can watch the NFL and watch someone, jump up in the air and catch a ball with one hand and come down and think, nope, there's no way. It would not matter how much I practiced, it's never going to happen. But when you watch esports, even as you watch it and you understand, like, they're incredible. They practice so hard. There's always that thought in your mind of, like, this is accessible to me. If I really wanted to put the work in, whether or not you can, you feel like you could. And it's really exciting. For the streaming side of it, it's the ubiquity of it. Anyone can buy a webcam and play a video game and talk into the microphone and put on a performance. Not everyone can be ninja or the best in the world at it, but everyone can do it and get that creative side out there and let them express themselves in a way that our generation really hasn't gotten to.
It's really amazing. And I know that Checkpoint XP has a podcast where you talk about just these types of topics.
Yeah, we do a daily podcast Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern at our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/checkpointxp. Sorry for the plug.
No, please, plug away. That's what we do around here.
Yeah, you can check it out. We do the latest in esports and gaming news, the most important discussions, the biggest news stories. We're covering it. And the best segments on that daily podcast make it to the national show. And you guys in the Twitch chat can even get involved in some of those segments, too. So you could be on the national radio.
So you do invite guests to appear on it as
Absolutely.
Well. Love that. That's a great way to collaborate. And you do some streaming?
We do. We in addition to streaming the actual podcast, we do have We have another show we do called Low Team Damage, which covers Overwatch League. We have a show for Checkpoint Fallout 76 that covers that, and we just have, of course, our game streams in the evenings when we're just hanging out and talking.
What game?
For me, I like League of Legends. I've been a big League of Legends fan for a long time. Also PUBG. I did a charity stream not long ago where I did 24 hours of Undertale, which is my all-time favorite game. So that would be, that's my...
Sounds like Melissa, our camera gal, has some experience in that realm, so you're getting her excited about that.
Undertale's amazing.
Something else that I wanted to touch on before we head things back over to Paul is we have to talk about the marshmallow performance.
Sure, in Fortnite.
What do we think about kind of the entertainment aspect coming into the gaming world with the ability to stream games?
So our generation is the first generation, I feel like, that hasn't seen video games as kind of like a kid's thing. You know, generation before us, they played video games, they got to be adults and said, okay, this goes in the box, this goes in the attic, and we're done. Our generation has continued to play video games and continue to make that art form a part of our life. It only makes sense that, you know, a concert or eventually a movie being shown would happen in the video game space.
That blew my mind. I could not believe the attention it got. It was genius for Marshmallow because it was free, correct?
It was free. And like for Fortnite to be willing to say, like, you can't play the game any other way right now. We're shutting it down. This concert's going on. If you want to play, go watch the concert. It's only going to be a few minutes. You know, we're not like we're taking you away for a day or something like that. Check it out. And you're right. It's this kind of nexus of traditional entertainment meeting the modern era.
Do you think we're going to see more of that?
Oh, there's no way we're not going to see more of that. I mean, and it's not just going to be Fortnite. Fortnite has the pull right now to open the door to that sort of thing, but someone is eventually going to see that idea and just run with it.
Absolutely. Who would you like to see perform in a video game?
Oh, goodness gracious.
That's on the spot.
I know. Honestly, we just saw KDA perform at the League of Legends World Championships. I would love to see something like KDA happening during the game of League of Legends. Maybe you have the Sona skin, the DJ Sona skin, and she's on, a KDA performance comes on. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of EDM artists would really fit in well with
Absolutely.
that genre. Finally, I want to talk about certain organizations like Google creating a gaming streaming...
Stadia.
Is it like a... Well, aren't they doing some sort of program where you can actually stream video games?
Yeah, so they're calling it Google Stadia, and the basic idea is that any game you want to play, it plays on your Google device. You don't have to have the software and installed on there. They stream it to your console, or whatever it is, whether it be your phone, whether it be a TV with a Chromecast plugged into it, you can play it on there. And the whole idea is that because it's all happening on their side, any kind of hardware can run these games. They tested it out with Assassin's Creed Odyssey late last year, and it worked. Like, everyone was blown away by how well it worked. So now they've announced it's officially coming. We're going to get more information about it this summer. Fingers crossed, it's awesome.
Yeah, and we'll see if Microsoft maybe is following behind that, and then maybe Twitch or Amazon. We'll see.
There's room all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything else that you'd like to touch on with Checkpoint XP Beasley Media before we sign off?
Yeah, absolutely. So Beasley Media is excited to be here. They just partnered up with the Detroit Renegades, who's the newest acquisition of Beasley XP. We're very excited to have them as part of the family, and we're really excited to kind of grow into the esports space, bringing traditional media and the modern esports space together.
I'm excited to see what the future holds. Thank you so much for joining us today, Joe.
Thanks
so much. It was great to meet you. Paul, back over to you. I'm going to head to LiveU's booth in South Hall Upper. I'll see you guys soon. Come on, Melissa, let's head over. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Let me know. Hey, and that was amazing, Tess. Thank you so much for bringing us to the Experience XP eSports Pavilion. One of the things I think is so interesting about eSports is the youth that are involved. The demographics are really incredible, whether it's boys, girls, men, women. Everyone seems to love playing video games, and it really blows my mind. I'm from Philadelphia. We've actually announced one of the largest and earliest stadiums for esports, the $50 million complex outside Philadelphia. And these stadiums are going up all across the country and all across the world. Speaking of LiveU, we're using the LiveU technology to beam back all of our video sources when we go mobile. And the in real life movement on Twitch and in esports in general are really bringing kids out of their video gaming dens, if you will, and it's becoming more social than you might think. There, in our small town in Westchester, Pennsylvania, we have an esports area there where students are coming in, collaborating, playing their favorite games together, and it is a team sport. And it is just, as you could hear, it's really one of our generations is something that we're really learning about is online gaming. Anybody can be a star. You don't have to be built a certain way. It's really an amazing thing. And I'm so glad that here at the NAB Show, the National Association of Broadcasters Show in 2019, we're seeing a space dedicated to esports. So I think that's really incredible. I think there's something that we can learn quite a lot about. And I also think that the technology here, I just want to break down what we're doing because we like to kind of open the hood, if you will, and let you guys know what we're doing. So we have a couple different live streaming cameras here. We're using the PTZ Optics cameras. Mike Lettermoser is actually using vMix today to stream, and we're using the LiveU LU600 to take the HDMI video output of our system, which has access to almost over 20 cameras here, and we can, using the NewTek NDI over a local area network, all of our cameras are connected via Ethernet, so we can control them, switch between them, stream with them to create a nice production. And here is our studio. We're going to be having industry guests from all over to interview them, but at the same time, we're going to cut live, as you just saw, to test in the field and bring you guys into some of the best booths at the NAB show. So it's very exciting. So Tess right now is walking from pretty much point to point here, from North Hall all the way to South Hall. And she is going to bring us to the LiveU booth where we're going to interview Felipe Laurent, who has created a cloud-based live streaming system, which I really want to break down how we're using it right now because it'll make this, I think, our whole presentation as we're streaming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You can kind of understand what we're doing. So in the cloud, we're switching between multiple RTMP streams. So from this studio here, we have an RTMP stream going up to the cloud. From our LiveU Solo Pack, which is a battery-powered, cellular-bonded live streaming system that we can go anywhere in the show, that is live streaming to the cloud. And LiveU has a TriCaster, a NewTek TriCaster, a very advanced streaming system with multiple PTZ Optics cameras there that they're controlling with the NewTek TriCaster so that they can have kind of a similar studio like this over at their booth in South Upper. So when Tess goes from mobile to there, we can switch between 3 different RTMP streams. We also have the ability to have redundancy, and we're bringing you guys some of the really coolest stuff. In fact, my friend over here, come on over here, Chris. I'm so glad you're here. Can we talk for a second? I want to introduce everybody to Chris Zanowitz while we're waiting for Tess to get over to the LiveU booth. Chris, you've done a lot of work with LiveU. I'm glad you stopped by. Yeah. Tell me about your experience using the LiveU Solo.
Well, at first last year we talked about LiveU and me being able to take it and hopefully get into the programming of getting out there and getting in the group that they offer where you can go and pick up work.
Yeah.
So what I found was that the LiveU Solo was a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
It's the lower end guy. So I need to get into like the LU600 or some of those other big boys to get in with being able to pick up that freelance gig work.
Let me set the stage for what you're talking about here, just so that everyone understands from the viewers' audience. So the LiveU Solo, which is what we're using to kind of just broadcast back and forth, it's less than $1,000. It's a consumer product, if you will, prosumer for Twitch streamers and real life streamers, but we use it as well, and it can bond up to 2 cellular modems, a Wi-Fi, and a hardwired Ethernet to really give us, as you saw, an incredibly high-quality stream. But what Chris is referring to is something very interesting that LiveU is doing. They've created a network for broadcasters that can use, I think it's the LU600 and up, the more professional products. And you can actually live stream to LiveU servers and sell your live content to television networks who will pay you for access. And that's something that...
Well, and what's cool about it is they have a server back at the studio, and you're just sending out to them.
Mm-hmm.
So you could be working with multiple networks like CNN and all kinds of people, or any studio that has this technology in their studio, and be just sending this stuff to them, you know. So I went ahead and built out the LiveU Solo. You guys kind of inspired me a little bit with y'all's IRL and doing all that kind of stuff. And then a lot of people are starting to use that, you know, go into the IRL Backpack website, finding out how to build all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's actually not that expensive. And my mic was too low, apparently. Anyways, it wasn't, it's a lot of fun to build it out. Like, I started buying all the components for it. I was hoping to have it here for NAB. You know, that was really my dream, was to be walking around. So I actually, like, my luggage was overweight because I brought all kinds of equipment.
You didn't have to leave it behind, did you?
No. I paid $75. I was running late. I barely almost got on the plane. You know, it was really
let's
nuts.
tell everybody about your business for a minute here.
Sure.
So I know Chris has a video production business, and you've been live streaming, getting content out to the world on Facebook and YouTube, and really using the social media. And, you know, in this segment, we're really talking about eSports, but the ability to go mobile and go anywhere, I feel like is kind of a must in today's day and age, because you can't always rely on the internet at the venue. I'm sure we've all had horror stories about, there's internet, and it's not enough bandwidth, or it's not available, I've been in places where they've got great internet, and then they let 200 people use their phones in there.
Unreliable networks, right? Yeah, that's the worst thing to me as live broadcasters. No, but I mean, so years ago, I started doing wedding videography, over 10 years ago, and they wrote articles about me because I was like, I'm bringing a VidU from Teradek, and I'm going to get this off the ground. And exactly that. It was like internet was an issue. People didn't. It's terrible. Like, internet, it just needs to really get beefed up. I mean, that's a whole nother topic, right? But with the invention of the LiveU, bonded cellular, now I am capable. I've been doing broadcasting live music, you know, like little concerts and stuff like that. Nothing to really brag about. I'm not using huge jibs or anything like that. But these are local artists that are very talented, and I've been able to bring them to the forefront on Facebook Live, and it's all been because of the LiveU technology and bonding cellular solutions. So it's been really, really helpful.
That's awesome. So I don't know if you got a chance to take a look at our cloud-based streaming system, but we've got 4 PTZ cameras connected via SDI.
This looks great, Paul.
Thank you. It's really looking good. We got the lights and everything. And then we also have almost 20 cameras set up around the studio, and many of them are connected via the NewTek NDI. So we've got this local area network. But we're really trying to bring all the elements of what are being announced at NAB and from different vendors to create something that, A, is affordable. Our slogan is broadcast quality made affordable, but also highly professional. It's just amazing how what we're doing here, not only are we streaming to YouTube, we're streaming to Facebook, we're streaming to Twitch. It's not a problem, right? We're mixing 2 different studios and a mobile system. In fact, I almost feel like it's time to go ahead and switch to our mobile broadcast. We, at one point, punched in a mobile broadcast from the eSports Pavilion, coming from the LiveU.
I need to get over there. I got some friends that are running that, actually.
Really?
Yeah. So Philip Nelson with Nelco Media.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his son is actually running the TriCasters. He's in control
over there. Oh, my gosh.
So Noel over there, if he sees this, I don't know. Hey, what's up, Noel?
Yeah, Noel's over there. We saw him.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go play a little visit over there and see what's going on. So it was pretty cool. You got to check it out?
It was super cool. Our whole audience got to see that.
That's so
and
cool,
at a certain point, what's going to happen is this broadcast is going to switch back to the mobile stream.
That's awesome.
And then, as a third step, we're taking you guys down the tunnel of broadcasting here. We're going to we have a third RTMP coming from the LiveU studio. Okay. We'll switch to that. And then I think we might end the stream there. It's a 1-hour broadcast. This is from 11 to noon, available on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Cross-posting as well. We have this event available on Facebook.
Okay.
But we also cross-posted with LiveU. It is now time to go back to Tess, who's got her mobile stream. Tess, I'm going to let you take it away. Can't wait to see what you guys have over there.
Tess, you ready? Yeah, we're good. All right, hey guys, we are back, and I am here at LiveU's booth in South Hall Upper 4810. If you're at the show, they'd love to have you by on Test Protesto with StreamGeeks, and I'm here with Felipe Loren, CEO of Easy Live. And you have the title beyond that, am I wrong?
I'm one of the
Co-founder and CEO, and today we're talking about cloud-based streaming. It's important to note that right now we are using Easy Live cloud-based streaming solution to switch between the IRL feed that you did see initially for our interview in the eSports Pavilion, all the way back to here at LiveU's booth in South Hall Upper. How you doing, Felipe?
Very good.
You're doing good, huh?
A bit tired. I landed yesterday night.
Yeah. How do you feel about the show today? Is it crazy? Is it?
It's packed, so I'm sure it's going to be pretty good for the next 3 days. So,
yeah, I feel like the energy right now is pretty intense because the doors just opened less than an hour ago. So this is like crunch time.
Yeah.
So we just mentioned that we are using Easy Live. Easy Live has been a lifesaver. It's really made our life easy. That was a stupid joke. Moving on from that, tell us about Easy Live for those who might be new to the solution.
Sure. So we basically provide a studio in the cloud to help a producer to either produce content remotely or to distribute that content on multiple destinations. So we have two main offers. One is what we call multi-stream that we just announced today, which is a restreaming professional service. So you have full redundancy, we guarantee the delivery on all the platform, we guarantee the frame rate on all the platform, we support every protocol. So whether you do MPEG-TS or UDP for the more professionals or RTMP for the basics. And then we have a studio where in the cloud, just like what you guys are doing right now, you can aggregate multiple feeds from remote location and switch, just like vMix, but cloud-based. So that's an additional tool, complementary to tools like vMix or TriCaster or Wirecast.
Absolutely. Some of the things that I definitely want to highlight, some of our favorite parts of Easy Live that we've used in the past is the redundancy feature. Yep. Being able to have a backup screen, whether it's a video file, an image, or what have you, maybe even an advertisement to display if, for, let's say, your feed goes down temporarily.
That's a bit your insurance policy, right?
Yeah.
So no one wants to experience an outage where you spend so much effort building your audience, and in the middle of your show, everything dies.
We've all been there, right?
Yeah, that's the worst situation, right?
Yes.
So not only for you, in order to communicate properly with your audience, but also for your audience. It's very frustrating for people watching a content. So that's a very good insurance policy.
Absolutely, and I want to talk about some of the partnership opportunities that you have with a cloud-based solution, with a product like LiveU's, with the cellular bonding. If you're out in the field using a LiveU Solo like we were today, hey, why don't you just step back there for Melissa? I just didn't want the camera to be blocked by that because we are using these ones now. Okay. Melissa, thank you so much. If you're using a cellular bonding solution like LiveU, which we are today, the Solo, you can have the ability to switch between a live in the feed shot and then switch back to a studio production like we have done today. You really saw the perfect example of what that can do there. Can you tell me about some solutions that you've seen being used with the LiveU in collaboration with Easy Live?
Yeah, so there are a couple of use cases. One being the one you just described, where people use it more like on an IRL type, so especially for conventions, for example, that helps them introducing to solution partners, different things they do this way. There is also a lot of setup, especially in the sport area, where they have a one camera setup plug into a LiveU unit. We have a native integration with LiveU where you just connect both solutions seamlessly. And then this helps you in the cloud to add graphics, scoring, and then simulcast to multiple destinations with the redundancy feature we just spoke about.
Yeah, you have some really interesting integrations, and from the streaming standpoint, you integrate with the Facebook API, YouTube API,
most of the platforms,
Twitch API. I think we're streaming to all of them right now.
And we support also like professional platforms. So if you want to go, for example, back into a control room, we can plug with Zixi. We have UDP, MPEG-TS, HLS for Akamai Ingest, for example. So it could be very basics for social media, but also very advanced for professional, more advanced professional needs.
Yes, just like we're doing today, we're able to stream to the LiveU with the integration with Easy Live, as well as to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and what have you. I know that you have some new features that you've recently added. What are you comfortable talking about here at NAB?
I mean, we announced it today, so it's been a feature that we had for years, but mixed with the studio.
Right.
And all customers ask us to dissociate it basically from the studio. Some of them do the studio and the multi-stream. Others just do the multi-stream. So we just bring like a standalone product, which is multi-stream, where we can get one feed in, and then we restream everywhere with the redundancy and all the protocols in output with some very advanced feature. But I invite the viewers to check on goeasylive.com/multi-streams, and so they could check on it all the features and how this can apply to their use case.
Something else that I wanted to touch on that I really like that's recently added, the ability to have separate streams that have different bit rates and at different resolutions.
Yeah.
Is that something that's new?
Yeah, because I mean, when you take most of the already existing solution to restream, it's usually the same feed that you send everywhere.
Yes.
The issue you have is all the platforms do not support it the same way.
Exactly, like Facebook, we're at 720 for the most part. YouTube, we could do 1080.
Exactly, and Twitter is even less than that. And so the issue is, and so the issue is that if you send a feed too big in terms of quality, you drop viewers because they just can't read the feed. For example, if you take people on YouTube, 1080p 60, YouTube has the capability to transcode natively the feed for whatever device you have or connection. If you take Twitter, it's just a pass-through. So if you send a 1080p 30 on Twitter, people on their smartphone, they will struggle. You're going to lose a lot of audience.
Yes.
So we help the producer to make sure they feed each platform with the optimal quality recommended to maximize viewership and retention of your viewership.
Absolutely, that's amazing. Something that we're talking about today specifically is sports streaming. Huge at NAB this year. We touched on eSports and gaming. I'd like to talk about some live sports as well.
Yep.
So can you tell me about some integrations or customers that you have using Easy Live to stream sports?
Yeah, we have the Los Angeles Rams, for example.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
the Los Angeles Rams. Good for you.
Yeah, thank you. So we're happy. I mean, we hope they would have won, the Super Bowl.
Well, I guess you have to cheer for them if they're using your product.
Well, we're happy that they made such a result. So yeah, basically they do, so because of TV rights, obviously we don't do the games, but they do press conferences, pre-show, after-show, everything related to live coverage, they use Easy Live for that. And so from all the stats we saw in the news, they've been pretty successful, so we are very happy to help them achieving those tremendous results.
What about maybe university level sports or high school sports who are actually looking for that to be their sole streaming solution?
Yeah.
Do you see some people using like a scoreboard feature, a timer feature? Does Easy Live have that ability?
Yeah, so we have a natively timer and scoring feature within Easy Live, but we integrate with other services for that. So we work, for example, with Singular.live, where you can apply an HTML overlay, where you can do all the graphics you can imagine of. So it's a very nice graphic package, especially for sports. But also our entire service is API driven. So you can basically couple your own scoring service with our platform. And so based on a scenario that your technician built, basically you can automate the entire production workflow. So we do that a lot for betting, for example, in Europe, where we get one feed from the venue, the scoring data, and they automate not only the entire production workflow, but also clipping every point.
Oh my goodness! What I wanted to talk about that I almost completely forgot, the ability to clip a quick clip, like a highlight of something. Maybe the team just scored, or there was just an amazing play.
Yeah.
Can you explain that to me a little bit deeper?
It's very easy. When we receive the data and the video feed, everything is synchronized. And once the data tell us, okay, this was a goal, so we do two ways. If that's, for example, soccer or football, after the action has been done and the point scored, we get the data and we clipped a couple of seconds in the past. And so you have that, you can trim input and output, and either replay it in your feed or distribute to social media.
To social media, and I think that is so cool to give kind of like live highlights.
If you do tennis or volleyball, we do it on a different way to be more clever, and we do point to point. This way, we trim the exact sequence you are looking for, and everything is fully automated.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What about like an instant replay capability? I'm not sure if that's something I've experimented yet with Easy Live.
So let's say you follow like a volleyball game.
Yeah.
Maybe at the end of the game you have a couple of hundreds points clipped. So that's a lot, right? And so you have this list, you can preview all of them, and you can basically transfer one of those clips back into our studio. So that's instantly. And you can replay it. So you can replay one of the best shots, one of the best points, one of the best goal. And so that basically, usually you need a production truck for that with EVS servers or very advanced hardware. And so for lighter production, with Easy Live you can do it, basically.
Great. So I know that Easy Live is cloud-based, and that's kind of one of the things that sets it apart from maybe some other streaming solutions. And I know that Easy Live collaborates so well with using it with streaming solutions, but it also can stand on its own. What is the real true benefit of cloud-based streaming? And is it the future?
No, of course. So the benefits. First, if you have a single camera setup, why having additional technician and additional hardware on site? It's better to do in the cloud. You can have someone remotely that helps you. You can automate it through the API, so you can save some money. Secondly, even if you use, like here, we have 2 or 3 cameras, we have a TriCaster here, this fits, it's sent to Easy Live. It's like basically the TV workflow, where you have the production truck and then the final control room. Right. Because if this goes wrong, I don't know, let's say there is an outage, the feed dies here, having something in the cloud, you can switch automatically to a backup, and this way you keep guaranteeing delivery content to your audience.
And what I love about that is that the stream doesn't die. I don't know how that happens, but the stream doesn't die. You can recover.
That's the secret,
There's a light at
secret
the
sauce.
Is it? So I guess you can't share that.
I mean, it's very technical, so.
So it might be a little bit hard to just spew out on the floor right now.
It just reanalyze the frame, and when something is being a bit dodgy, we just switch back to an asset.
StreamGeeks, we do a lot of event streaming and IRL streaming with the LiveU Solo, and we use the Easy Live for a number of reasons, but that redundancy feature is my favorite. I'll never forget when we were doing this big stream for our local government where we were touring the town. Yeah. We didn't realize it for about 5 minutes. The stream went down because we had a loose cable or something with our LiveU. It was our own fault. And we didn't know until we saw the redundancy screen in the chat. Yeah. And that really saved our butts.
Yeah,
I'll tell you.
It's for most of our customers, that's one of the #1 feature because, like you say, it saves the day.
It's an opportunity to display maybe announcements and advertisement, to be continually giving your audience information if the stream does die. Or does cut off shortly, or it's a way to say, be right back, which is kind of how we use it, because we lose less audience members.
And you can customize it, right? So by default, it could be just a slate, the be right back type. Right. It could be a looping video, or if you have a more advanced setup with, let's say, locally you have a wired connection and a LiveU backpack, this could be a second stream coming from a LiveU. And so you see, we have a lot of customers using this type of setup, where they use either LiveU as the primary feed or as the backup one, and the wired connection being the opposite. Yeah. And so we switch, seamlessly between the two of them depending on what works best.
Yeah, for us it's just amazing to be able to have our studio feed and then the in the field, just like we're doing today, and like we will be doing all week, switching between the new, fun, crazy IRL streaming solutions and then the in-studio solutions. So it's been amazing. What do you expect this week at NAB? What's your favorite thing that you're going to go see? Besides PDC Optics and LiveU.
We have a couple of demos at PDC Optics. It's from the audience we saw today, just at the opening of the show, it looks like packed compared to last year. So really looking forward to it. We have like a full agenda already for the next 3 or 4 days. And so I'm sure it's going to be very exciting.
And what's the future for Easy Live? What are you thinking? What can we expect from you guys?
I mean, the way we see it, so it depends on the industry, right? If you take sports, for example, they try to do as much behind the scene as they can. And so having a cloud solution, it's the perfect fit. If you take eSports, where we are pretty big in eSports too, they've been using for years consumer products basically, and they are getting professionalizing their tools more and more because they are signing more brands, more partners, and so no, it's getting great. So
I'm really excited.
plenty of new feature will be announced later in the year, and so it's just getting bigger and bigger.
So what else, well, let's find out about where people can grab Easy Live, where they can purchase it.
Yeah.
And I want to hear a little bit about how you distribute the solution. Is it a month-to-month thing? Do you buy it a one-time purchase?
Yeah.
Just kind of the housekeeping information about it.
Sure. So everything is on goeasylive.com.
Goeasylive.com.
And so you have all the feature, everything is explained. You have a 2 week trial for free, where there is no commitment, no credit card required. You just log in and you can play with it. We even provide support. It's free. You can have a dedicated engineer or someone from the support who can help you with your use case or your support.
Or you can just call Felipe at 554. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I was looking for your phone number this morning, though.
And then on the pricing part, it's actually very easy. So either the multi-stream or studio part, it's just a cost per hour.
Okay.
Okay, so we charge, it starts at $19 per hour, and it's a fair price. It's when we allocate you the server that the pricing starts. When you stop, we stop the bidding. It's very easy. And in addition to that, you have a support package. So we have different level of package where it's a cost per month. So you can just use it for 1 month or the entire year. That's up to you. And so there is no hidden fees. Everything is listed and including in the packages you can see on the website.
Well, thank you so much for joining
Thank
us.
you.
Is there anything else that you'd like to share with the StreamGeeks and LiveU channels before we sign off?
Just again, the new announcement about our multi-stream package, where one fit in and everywhere in the same place with the optimal settings per platform you're trying to reach out.
Very exciting. All right, guys, that is StreamGeeks coverage of LiveU and NAB 2019 for Monday. Tomorrow, join us at 11 a.m. Pacific again, as we are going to be talking about House of Worship streaming. Big topic for us, and we're so excited for that. I'm going to send things back to Paul whenever you're ready.
Two people, she can give you a high sign like, yeah, it's okay to wrap up. And do another one.
Want to grab somebody here?
Yeah, but we have a lot of our guests too. Like we could probably have another customer that would love to chat with you.
Right, seriously. Yeah. And just basically like, so what's going on with NAB? Tell me about what you represent in this case.
Yeah.
So, great job. And this was actually a perfect collaboration because we're using Easy Live and
Yeah.
So I was like, we're doing it right now.
I'm using the Easy Live, the Live Solo.
Yeah, I completely forgot to tell you, when we come up here, you just have a seat because we're switching. So we just got done with our day one coverage with LiveU and StreamGeeks partnering up for NAB 2019. I just wanted to hop on, give you guys a quick look behind the scenes before signing off of the production table, because I know those of you that are interested in NAB are interested in production. This is where the LiveU feed is being covered from. And that's where you're going to see us streaming from tomorrow as well at 11 a.m. Pacific. And we will see you tomorrow ready to go live. Have a great one, guys. All right. I think that's wrapping it up for us then. Woo!
High five.
Great job, Melissa. We'll definitely need this to go down a little smidgen.
Yeah. Just a little bit.
Oh my God.
Hey! He kills it. Just wrap? I did. I just came by. I heard you at Body say you're
lose all of his